Welcome back. That was This Day Won't Last by Mouad El Salem from Tunisia. We wanted to have a Zoom with him, but there's some complications there, but I don't think it really matters because we're very happy to have Nour Al Ahmad, the producer of the film, willing to Zoom with us, and also the cousin of Mouad. Nour, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to mention that you are not with Mouad at this moment. You live in Belgium, right?
Yeah, that's right. And he really wanted to join. I was chatting with him via Facebook just before, but it's Ramadan and the sun just set, and his mother invited a lot of people.
Right.
So he's in a full house, and he can't leave the table right now because he can't explain why he would leave the table right now. And so he asked me to represent him, which I will do, of course. And also for his and for my own safety, I won't show my face.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm happy to be part of this evening. So thank you for the invitation.
Yes, thank you very much for being here and talking to us. Just to clarify things, why is it necessary for you to even blur your webcam and that we don't know the actual name of Mouad, because Mouad El Salam is not his real name? What would be the implications if this would be all in the open?
Well, as mentioned at the end of the film, for homosexuality you can go to jail for up to 3 years. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the justice system in Tunisia is not very clear or very strict or very human rights-ish. Mm-hmm. So for us to have the feeling to be safe and to speak freely, it's easier if you don't know who we are and how we look like.
Yeah.
Of course, we would like to be visible. That was the whole intention and the whole, that was the point of the film, to become visible. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, so we started this project, I guess, 3 years ago. The idea was my cousin wanted to make a film that paid tribute to all the activists. And it would have been a very straightforward classical documentary to pay tribute to all the fighters. Mm-hmm. And we were in contact with them. They were happy with the idea. But then when it came to the real thing, to meet and to film, everyone said no. They were so scared. So people don't dare to talk in public because it can destroy their future. Mm-hmm. If you are out in the open, well, or you go to jail, or you have to leave the country and flee.
And this is indeed, as you mentioned in the last part of the film, is Article 230 of the law. What would be the implications if you look at the social matters? Because Mouad is now at the dinner table with his family, but many of his family members don't know that he's homosexual, that he's queer, right?
No one knows.
No one knows.
At least no one talks about it. It's also something that doesn't exist, let's say. So if you don't say it, it doesn't exist, so then there is no problem. That's how the Tunisian mind functions. So it's so frustrating. But on the other hand,
go ahead. On the other hand,
let's say that if I would be thinking to do it with my own name and to be a bit tough and like, okay, I'll come out and I'll show my face, I would put a negative connotation on our family name. And one thing is to become visible, but another thing is to make your name dirty. Right. I don't know how to put it, but of course, we don't want to hurt people, or we don't want to put people in trouble. That's never our intention. So it's a very fine line between wanting to say things, protecting people that are in danger, but also protecting people from, things that they are unfamiliar with. If you make a name dirty, it can really destroy the future of a whole family, but like a big family. It can, it's very complex.
Yeah.
So even if this Article 230 disappears, you have the moral of the society, and there is a long way to go there too, in the minds of the people to.
And how does a film like this help for that? What do you think are the effects?
That's.
It's a difficult question, I can imagine.
It's a difficult question. The film gets a lot of attention, which is super. We never imagined that it would go so far and would be appreciated so much. But the success is mainly in Europe. And we want change in Tunisia. And we were in the running. We submitted, of course, the film in Tunisia too. And they didn't take it. And it's unclear why they didn't take it. Maybe it's too experimental. Maybe it's too close to them. Maybe it's too controversial. We have no idea.
For film festivals, for viewings?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But of course, Tunisia is our main goal. The politicians, the people who can make a difference, those are the ones we want to reach, and the young people who don't have access to stories like this, who could recognize themselves in this feeling. Those people, we want to reach them too. But at this moment in time, it didn't happen yet. I hope it will in the future.
Do you have any strategies for this? How can you, because this evening is about making contact and the value of human contact. That can also be through a film like this, obviously. Do you have strategies to get it out there? Maybe illegal copies, maybe just hand them out, maybe just find new ways to do it?
Before the film was finished, I was imagining having a private link or a password protected link, and then try to get it to young people in Tunisia. I didn't have a real strategy, but I was thinking about this, but I didn't imagine at that time that we would be online all the time. So it was in the other world, before
the analog offline world, right?
Yeah, voilà. And now that I see that this film can have success and can reach people and touch their hearts, I'm more convinced that we should find a way. But I think I see it less individual. So before the pandemic, I saw it as a link that could reach individuals. And now more and more, I want it to be in group and to have a talk with people in Tunisia, of course, everywhere. Proximity is much more joyous than being so distant.
Right.
In that regard, it's from September 2018 that I saw my cousin live. So we worked on this film for 2.5 years. And we haven't seen each other like 3 years now. And I'm so looking forward to hug we want to hug each other so much because we have this adrenaline of this film being out there, and we didn't have the chance to celebrate this even
Right,
together.
right. So there's contact through the film and in your cooperation with the film, because obviously you produced it, but there was no physical contact well, in a metaphor that the rest of the world shares. We can't hug, we can't have close connections like this, and that's so important also for the value of what you're doing together.
Yeah. We were already working via Facebook Messenger before the pandemic. So for us, this is an extension of what we were already doing before. And yeah, I'm just longing to go back to Tunisia and do something with the film and to travel with it. But I have no idea how to, because then we are visible and out there.
And not safe.
And maybe not safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, one day or another, we will have to. I really want to push things forward and find the right people. And sometimes things happen in Tunisia, like for instance, right now, there is a festival organized by l'Institut de France, l'Institut Français, and it's called Colors of April, and it's about homosexuality and queerness and stuff. So this is happening there, but it's very, I don't know how it is because I wasn't there, but I wonder how many people they reach and how they make it safe.
Yeah.
And that's a path to explore. And certainly because it's the French, they should make some historical mistakes. They should fix some historical mistakes.
Right, right. I want to talk about you, about something that I think is a very interesting paradox when it comes to contact. On the one hand, we don't see Mouad's face. We don't see his real name, so you could argue that for the viewer there's no real contact. On the other hand, you could also argue that because there's no face and there's no personality, a lot of queer people can actually make contact because of the lack of a face. How do you look at this? Which perspective do you support?
Well, that was a very low point for us the day that we decided to do all this anonymously. That was after 1 year into the process of figuring out how to make this, what is a good form, how to work together on a distance. And so we wanted to make him and his community visible. And then one day we had to decide, okay, if we really want to go on with this, and if you want to be safe in your country, we will have to do it anonymously.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a paradox, and it's what we didn't want to do. But I already knew that his phone footage is very close. It's very personal. It's very tactile. So it speaks in a very personal way. So I believed that there was a possibility to make it very personal, although there was no real presence of the face.
Yeah.
And I think we managed. And yes, there is also a benefit in that, because if you don't see who it is, you can project a lot of things onto it. But it was not a strategy beforehand. It's a way to deal with all the things that we faced.
Right. It was born out of necessity, but it does have symbolic value, you could say.
Yeah.
So is there going to be a next film? Are you working on something
yes, we want to. We want to collaborate again, but I'm sure this first hug and being together and make some kind of a debriefing of this project, we first need to release this energy and this thing together before we can start on a new thing. But I have a lot of things I want to do, and he has a lot of things to say. Maybe it's important to stress here that Muad believed in the project, but he never has been to a film festival, so he couldn't imagine the impact the film would have. And for him, if 50 people would have seen it, it was already a lot. But now we see that we can reach many, many more people. So it motivates him a lot to say more and to say different things. If we can choose, we will want to make something under our own names. So the theme would be different. I don't think we would go on with this theme for now, to be able to speak freely. And he's very busy right now with how this pandemic, but also other things, create a poverty, but the worst. And his conclusion is that the middle class is disappearing. There are only rich people and poor people and nothing in between. And yeah, he has a very generous and social heart, and maybe we will do something with that. And he's also very busy with body shaming and with being comfortable and uncomfortable. So that could also be another theme that we want to explore. But right now the plans aren't very concrete.
No.
But we are gathering ideas and exchanging, and it's cool to feel that there might be something, a new thing waiting. This is not an end point. That was also something I said him many times when we were finishing this. For me, this is not necessarily the end of our collaboration, because the exchange, me being in Brussels, he being in Tunisia, the different gender, different background, and the willing to share and to understand the different perspectives is very rich and fertile ground to work with.
Thank you so much. I just have one last short question. Do you think this is a way for Muad? Has this helped him? Is this a way to reach out to other people and make contact, even if it's not physical or direct?
Yes, because he already did some Q&As. That was something that was completely new to him. He didn't know it exists. He was a bit surprised that people, after watching 25 minutes to his life story lamenting thing, that people wanted to know more. So yes, it opened him up. It made him more confident, but it's also confusing. Because the film goes there where he can't go. For a Tunisian who is not rich, there is no possibility to travel, except to Algeria and Libya, but that's it. And so, yeah, it's maybe good that there is a pandemic right now, so that there isn't a lot of traveling for festivals. But if he could travel with his film, it would be like next level.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Well, I wish you two the best of luck in future projects, and also in bringing this project further, because it deserves a bigger audience, and also in Tunisia, I think. So I wish you good luck with that. Thank you for being here on Zoom with us, and say hi to Muad for us.
I will do that. Thank you very much for your time and your attention.
Thank you.